Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Brian from USA.Patriot.Cards. It's been a busy week. It's been a busy couple weeks. It's been a very fast start to 2023. Um, I have completed another monster trade. Cards are in hand, and I owe it all to a connection I've made recently through a Facebook group with, let's just call him Cardboard Jesus, because he has been turning smaller liquid cards of mine into grail pieces with a snap of the fingers, just like Jesus turned water into wine, right? So I will call him Cardboard Jesus. His real name is Kyle. He's over at TK_razes. Got a great Raz page. If you don't know what a Raz is, excuse me, it's where you take a card, say it's $1,000 card, you create 10 spots, 100 spots each, and you randomize that card. There's ways that they can get those spot prices down even lower. They do things called minis and all these different, ways to chop those pieces up smaller. Then you get into what's called the main, and usually the main is 10 spots. So you got a 10% chance of landing a big card. So he razzes anything from $100 cards to $10,000 cards, but it seems to be the sweet spot for him is anywhere from around, I'd say $200-300 to about 2,000 or 3,000. So if you get into the 10, 15, 20K cards, it's harder to split the spots up to where they're affordable, and yet they are still somewhat like realistic. You don't want to get into a spot, a Raz where there's 1,000 spots at $10 for a $10,000 card. It's like I'm just throwing away money, right? There's just the odds of you hitting that card are just about slim to none. But if you can take a $500 card, break it up into 10 spots at $50 each, now you got something. So he's been able to bring two grails to me, and I've been able to give him liquid, movable, razzable cards that he can, instead of taking this big card to auction or trying to sell it at a show or even through social media. Generally, people are the comps on these big cards keep coming down. This card I'm about to show you used to be a 90K card. Okay, so I just don't think the market can support those prices right now for these ultra modern basketball, football, and baseball cards, even though these are some of the future GOATs we're talking about here. So rather than sell that card and not know kind of where he's going to land, especially at an auction, he's able to chop that up into 10, 15, 20 different smaller cards and then go get near 100% comps in the way he razzes those cards. So all that being said, it really is about who you know in this thing. So get out, network. If you don't have an Instagram right now with your eBay name and your Instagram name the same, first of all, you got to go do that. You got to at least have an Instagram for your cards. This isn't picture your kids and your wife and all that stuff. You can have a personal Instagram, but you need to have an Instagram for your cards that plugs you in to the online space where a lot of deals, most of my deals are done online. And then you can go out and create even a Facebook page for your cards and join different groups. If you want to know some groups, private message me and I'll share the ones that I'm in. Usually you have to answer like a little questionnaire. They want to make sure you're a real person, and then they'll most likely bring you on into the group. But there's all kinds of trading and selling and buying that happens on Facebook and Instagram without the 15% fees that eBay takes. So definitely do that. This way you can potentially meet people to trade with, sell to, the whole nine. You got to be plugged in. That's how I met Kyle. So I'll start though with this card here that I found on Facebook in a group, and I picked it up. It's a Bo Jackson game used. Looks like the C from Jackson, if I had to guess. It's definitely a letter patch. What I found out about the Bo Jackson game used football market is it doesn't exist. Literally, if you go to eBay right now, type in Bo Jackson NFL game used patch. I don't think there's any on eBay, but if you go to the solds, there's one with a horrible auto, and I think it was an immaculate card, and a decent patch, like a two-color patch with a horizontal, shape to it. But I mean, a diagonal shape to it. You can see it. Nothing like this card. Nothing like this card at all. So you can see right there where it says game used. I think the reason there's not a lot of Bo Jackson game used is because I went and looked this up. He only played in 33 NFL games, played over 4 years. If you take 16 times 4, that's 64 games. So he played in about half of his NFL games. I'm sure that there's just not a ton of Bo Jackson Raiders gear floating around for Panini to acquire. So that's why you don't see things like this pop up. And had I not been on Facebook, I never saw this. This isn't a card that he was going to put on eBay because he wasn't willing to take the 15%, hit on something like this that's so liquid. I was lucky to find this first, reach out and make a deal before, because there's a lot of guys out there looking for something like this of Bo Jackson. So this is a really cool card. Happy to add it. Now, if you look at the Bo Jackson baseball stuff, it's out there a little bit more, the game used. And then there's some Auburn stuff that's out there, but yeah, his Raiders game use stuff just isn't out there. So next, I guess next, I'll talk about this one too. Yeah, so this is another card that I got on Facebook, and actually Kyle hooked me up with this too. I told him after the trade was made for Kyrie that I wanted to get this specific card, which is a 2012 Prism Refractor. They call it a Prism, also known as an early silver. The 2012 Prism is the first year that Panini made Prism, so it's an iconic set. This is his rookie card, although I do think he has some cards from 2011, but this is his flagship Prism rookie card. In the Refractor PSA 10, it is Pop 26. So these just aren't out there either. A lot of guys holding these cards because they are, like I said, the first year that Prism was made. So it's tough to find these. I mentioned to Kyle, hey, I'm looking for this specific card. Literally 30 minutes later, he connected me with somebody. So I like what the Mavericks are doing. I think he brings a new energy. Of course, it's all going to depend on if they can make a late run this year. Keep him and Luka happy. They look happy to me. They joke around. There's some videos of him and Kyrie, him and Luka at All-Star Weekend, kind of messing around, and they seem to be hitting it off. They just need some time to play together, and hopefully they'll make a nice deep playoff run, and then the Mavericks can re-sign him to a 4-year max deal, probably around $200 million. If that happens, then this was a good pickup for me. If he's just a 2 or 3 month rental, then I might look to move this. But if he becomes an integral piece in the Mavericks moving forward, then I'm happy. So those are the two cards that I picked up, and then now we'll get to the trade. So on the trade, I have here everything I gave. I'm going to show you sort of everything that I gave. Here's the picture of everything. So you can see there are 21 cards here. The 6 big cards are sort of in the top row and in the second row, the 3 in the middle, starting with the Vladdy Green, with a Mike Baker Gold. Now the subs on this is Gem Mint Plus, so that's a really sharp card. Probably has a high likelihood, probability. I was going to say likability. Probably has a nice chance for a crossover into a PSA 10. And next to it, you have the 2018 Luka Hyper in a 10. Now, back when we were open a 2018 Prism, if you pulled a Hyper, you were disappointed, as opposed to pulling a silver. I think that things have definitely changed as we discovered how many silvers Prism was actually making. And the pop count on the silvers is, I think, in the mid 2000s, and the pop count on the Hyper is like 103. So this is a very low pop card. It's affordable though. There's actually one out there on eBay right now for 2.2. So you can go out and get one if you actually, really want one. This next one was a card that has a lot of potential. The White Sparkle Deshaun Watson. I think if you look at a Joe Burrow, White Sparkle, PSA 10 rookie from Prism, you're talking around 10 to 12K. Then up from there, you have Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. I think the Pat Mahomes is probably a 50K card. So if we get back to the early Deshaun Watson that we saw with the Texans, and he reestablishes himself as one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league, which is entirely possible. I mean, he's talented enough to do it. This could be a huge card. But as we get further into my collection, I'm having to part with cards that aren't as easy to trade. So next one is an orange Mahomes Prism out of 249. Like this card a lot. Traded for it before the season started. Was able to make some gains on this one. We'll move over to the green second row. Second card is the green shimmer Bobby Witt. That's out of 99. Nice card. That was a Dallas Card Show pickup, but I had to move on from that. Not a hard one to move from because the green shimmer, even though it's only out of 99, not really one that's preferred by collectors. Those first Bowman parallels, outside of like the orange, the gold, the blue, the refractor, when you start getting into the shimmers and stuff like that, they're cool cards and they hold some value, but they're just not ones that maybe purist type collectors would build a collection around. So I wouldn't call myself a purist, but I definitely would move something like this before I'd move like an atomic or a refractor even. Or the true blue, which I have a few of those, but definitely still believe in Bobby Witt a great deal. I mean, he might end up being better than Julio when it's all said and done. I know he's definitely talented enough to do that. And then next to that, we have the true blue Prism R.J. Barrett rookie PSA 10. This one is out of 150, I believe. Yeah, I think the blues are out of 150. Not as big a card as you'd think. R.J. Barrett's market's not that expensive. I think this is around 6 to 7. It's a true blue color match, PSA 10. Everything is going for this card, but R.J. Barrett just is a very inconsistent player. I think when I acquired this, he was getting hot, and then he came to Dallas literally the day that I got this, and he lacerated his hand, and he was out for several weeks. He's since been back for a good month plus, but he had a decent game last night. I think he scored about 25. But there are a lot of nights where he'll shoot 4 or 14, have 11 points. Just somebody that has not quite shown the consistency to merit any type of, collectability on at least from my end. I mean, if you're a Knicks fan, great, but I didn't have any problem moving on from that card. And then next to that one is the Hoops 2018 Luka rookie. It's a foil card. It's green. I'll show you closer up pics of all these cards as we move forward in this video. But this one, out of 99, I'll talk about the values that I got for each card. This one is a cool card. I have a silver artist proof from 2018 Hoops out of 25 that I still have. So letting this out of 99 green go made sense for me. And then the rest are Otanis and some LeBrons and a couple Currys that are all PSA 10s, but easy movers for the Raz group. Like let's say this orange 2016 orange Curry down here. I think it's a $250 card. He throws that up, 10 spots, 25 each, boom. You pay $25 for a chance to have a nice serial numbered, 2016 early optic Curry card. That's the sweet spot for his group. So, yeah, let's talk about some of these cards individually. Like I said, we'll start here with this paper Otani. This is a $100 card. I had a 6-pack of these, threw these in, sort of as a cherry on top of the deal. The bulk of the deal had been done. He was looking for about $500 or $600 more in value, so I threw this 6-pack in, and he was happy to have those. Sorry, I'm trying to look around my camera here. Next, there was one of these 2018 Topps Chrome Otani rookies. This is the pitching variation. I think it's a true rookie for him. It does about 130, so an easy mover on that for him. And then I'll just quickly move through these LeBrons. 2017 silver. It's a nice little card there. How about a 2018 green? I think that does about 70 bucks. This one's cool. The Fast Break Red. This is numbered out of 175. It's a color match with the Cleveland jersey. Actually, color matches the whole thing, even his tights and socks. Red on red, does about 250, just like the Curry. Easy mover. Cool card for a LeBron collector. Here's another red. This one out of 2017, the Ruby Wave. It is not numbered, and it doesn't do anywhere near 250. Interestingly, this only does about 80 bucks. So the serial numbering on the 2018 Fast Break really helps that card. Let's see, moving along. There's another silver from 2018. And then on to the Currys. Here's a Ruby Wave from 2017 Prism. I was ripping a lot of wax back in 2017, 2018. That's why I have all this stuff. I sent it off to grade. And really, I've just been looking for a deal like this, somewhere where I could add it all in to move to a bigger piece. Here's the Curry that we talked about earlier, the orange. This is out of 199. Cool card. I like the 2016 Optic. Jaylen Brown, rookie year. I think, who else is in that? Jamal Murray, Ben Simmons. I know I'm missing some people. And here's the Hyper. So this is, like I said, a Pop 103 in the PSA 10. A lot of these will have bigger print lines across, horizontally across the card. You can see there's one under his lifted foot that goes right under the foot and kind of through the bottom of the other knee. I guess, I don't know what Panini's grading standards on print lines are, but I know that these Hypers and X-Fractor type cards tend to have lines like this. But yeah, this is a really nice card, a PSA 10. So I ended up getting 20, let's see, how much did I get for this one? 2,500 trade value on this. After we agreed on the trade and I moved this card, I actually was doing a little like deeper dive into the comps, just to kind of reassure myself that I got a good deal, and found that there is one on eBay at 2.2. So, essentially that's a comp right there if it's for sale at that price. So I did higher than the last comp, if you consider that a comp. So I did well on this card. He should have no problem moving that. Next is the green we talked about. It's a full foil card, which makes it very condition sensitive. The corners can be tough to keep sharp on this. I think I bought this raw on eBay because I didn't pull this for sure, but I graded it myself, came back at 10. So the last two comps on this, there's actually one out there, I think for 2K. There's a 2K buy it now comp on Card Ladder. It's not, there's not that little certified check that Card Ladder puts, but that doesn't mean it's not a legit sale. But I just went with the two that were actually legit comps. So one did 1225 and one did 709. So we just sort of split that in the middle, and I got 1,000 trade value on that. Very nice card, cool card, very affordable card for somebody that wants a nice Luka rookie that's serial numbered and a gem condition. So a very movable card for him. Next, we'll talk about the True Blue RJ Barrett. Trade value on this was $650, which is about where I was at on it. So Didn't lose or make any money on this. Just kind of had it in my collection for a minute, got bored with the player, and was happy to just throw it in the deal. Next, the Orange Mahomes. Like I said on this, I traded for this. I gave a Herbert and, oh, a Jaw Silver. Both PSA 10 light blue Herbert Prism and a Jaw Silver and some cash for this. The last two comps on the Orange Mahomes is, let's see, 7,500 and 7,100 are the last two comps. We split that in the middle at 7,250, and that's the trade value I got here. This is serial numbered out of 249, so it's a nice low pop prism card of Mahomes that shouldn't be a problem to move even at that price, and it's got some room to grow. I think if he ends up being, what people are saying he could be, which is right there next to Brady when it's all said and done. This next card was probably the card that hurt the most. This was the end of a Vladdy era for me that stretches all the way back to about 2017. I picked up this cheap back then for like maybe $1,200. Been holding it ever since. I had a purple one that I got raw that I ended up grading, and it came back at PSA 10. I moved that in that blue Luka Contenders deal that I did at the Dallas Card Show a couple shows ago. This one was the last. I had another green, but I moved that as well in the Luka Contenders deal. So this was my last first Bowman Vladdy. I do have a Kaboom rookie PSA 10. I tried to throw that in too, just to be fully done with Vlad stuff, but he said the non-licensed cards just don't move as fast in his room. So I understand that. This one, like I said, the subs are amazing. 10 centering and 9.5 everywhere else. It has a Mike Baker gold, which I don't really think affects the value in this market much. It might affect the liquidity. It might be easier to move, but I don't think you can necessarily ask for more money. This one, so there was a 4,500 that did sell a couple months ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. And then there was a $5,500 sale that happened about a month ago on this green. It was a Min Gem, so it had a 9 subgrade. I don't know which subgrade it was, but it was a buy it now. So typically when you're comping cards, buy it now comps that kind of stand above an auction comp are, well, let's see. If the dealer's trying to sell, they'll use it. If they're trying to buy, they won't. But I think I gave a little ground. He gave a little ground. I was willing to be at that last comp, even though it was on a Min Gem. So I got $5,500 trade value here. And the reason I was willing to do that was because, there's one guy out there that went and bought that card at that price. Is there another Vladdy, a collector, that will go out and spend that kind of money on a green? There probably is, especially if he gets off to a hot start. But, you got to consider that sometimes. Just because one guy bought the card at X amount of dollars doesn't mean there's a line of buyers that are ready to, meet that price. So I didn't have a problem doing the Gem Mint Plus at the same comp that a Min Gem did, just because it was a buy it now, like I talked about earlier. Moving right along. Next, the White Sparkle Deshaun. So the last two comps on this were 78 and 75. I don't think it's quite there anymore, so I was happy to take a 7K value on this. Like I said, this was the highlight of my the centerpiece of my Deshaun collection, and I have a 5 or 6 nice Deshaun Watson rookies. This one definitely had the most upside, but it did eat up a lot of, when I'm trying to get to 27, which is what he wanted on this card I'm about to show you. You got to eat up some space, and this was definitely let's call him an innings eater, like pitchers in baseball, guys that go out and they're going to eat up innings for you. They're going to go out and give you 6 or 7 every time they step on the mound. Sorry. This card definitely went out and gave me 6 or 7 good innings. Actually gave me 7 to be precise. So not fun to let go, but had to do what I had to do. Next, the green shimmer Bobby Witt, which interestingly on this has an auto authentic grade. Clearly the auto is, I mean, it looks like a 10 auto to me. I don't know how this happened. I picked this up in a trade at the Dallas show a while ago. I don't know why you would send this in with a clean auto and then just get it authenticated. Maybe he sent it in with a couple other cards that he didn't want auto grades on. I don't know. But got 2K value on this. Let's see, how do we get there? Split the last 2 sales. There was a 3K of a dual 10. And then a 1750 auction of a single 10. This is not a dual 10. It could be, it should be, but it's not. So I split that, the difference on those 2 comps at 2350 there, which I think is a nice comp to get on that card. And then, like I said, I think that's it. I'll show you the overall picture one more time, but like I said, this full trade value was around 27K, and the last cash comp on this card I'm about to show you was 23. So if you take 27 and you take 85%, you get around 23. And I think if I would have gone out and sold each of these cards individually, then I would have been happy, really, to get around 23. We'll see how he's able to do it. I think he's got more room because he's razzing, and typically when you razz you can ask for 100% comps because it's chopped up so much. So he might actually be able to actually get up to 27, maybe even higher. I know that the guy, so he facilitated this deal. The card that I'm about to show you wasn't Kyle's, it was somebody else's that brought it to him and asked him to help him maximize the return, and this is the way they chose to do it, which I'm happy to oblige, just because, like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't think there's a winner here. I think we both won. I should say I don't think there's a loser here. I think we both won. He did what he wanted to do. I did what I wanted to do without waiting any longer. Let me show you what I wanted to do. So, this is a 2018 Contenders Luka Doncic rookie ticket cracked ice. 9.5 with a 10 centering, 9.5 edges, 9 corners, which doesn't surprise me because it's a full foil cardboard card, and then a 9.5 surface. Let me take this out and blind you. It's a gorgeous card, and it's, as far as an auto only rookie of Luka's, this has got to be top 3. There's RPAs out there, and then you've got your Prism sticker autos, but as far as on card for Luka, this is about as good as it gets. So like I said, it's all about who you know. I met Cardboard Jesus recently, and he has blessed me with not just this cracked ice, but he's also the one who brought this to me in a deal. And I did a separate video on this, so if you want to go back and watch that, you can see what I gave to acquire this. But when I started 2023, I didn't have any of these 4 cards I'm about to show you. And we're not even into March yet. And that was definitely a goal for me. This one, I didn't even know I wanted, but I found it and had to have it. Of course, the blue color match with the on card, just, man, that card's so clean. Every card here is clean. There's 1 card missing. He knows where it is too. He said not yet, but maybe in the future we can do something. It's the blue ice prism. And if I could add that at some point, my Luka collection would probably be complete. This Contenders cracked ice goes nicely with this one. Let's see, where's the best place to put it? Right there. I'll just show you. So I got this about a year plus ago. I think it's a pop. I want to say 4, but it's out of 65, and it is the playoff ticket, full foil. So the Edge has got a 9 on this one. But when you're talking about full foil and not the chromium cards, it's really tough to get a full, like, PSA 10 or Gem Mint Plus grade on those. What's cool about this cracked ice is, if you could see the number on that, 7 out of 25. So not 77, but it's as close as you can get. So we'll call that an eBay 101. But yeah, so happy to have been able to do this deal. My collection is definitely shrinking. I'm paring down a lot of stuff and moving it into big Luka cards. So it's been fun. It's been amazing. I can't wait to see what's in store. Just get out there, guys. Make an Instagram if you don't already have one, strictly for your cards. If you do sell on eBay, match up the Instagram name and the eBay name, so it's easy for guys to find you and maybe take the conversation from eBay to Instagram. I can't tell you how many deals I've done like that and saved a ton of money that way. And then get out and mix it up. Get in some Facebook groups, watch some YouTube content. Obviously, you're doing that now. Create a YouTube channel and talk about some of the cards that you have and why you collect what you collect. And if you go to a show, take some footage, throw it up, chop it up. Do mail day videos. If you make a trade, break it down for us. I love watching other people talk about their cards because that's what I love. And I love to do it so you can watch me talk about my stuff. So with all that being said, we're at 32 minutes. I'll probably chop that down to about 30 or less. But another long video, a lot of rambling, a lot of talking about something I love to do, and that's collect Luka Doncic cards. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, take care.